Hey everyone, I'm Amy.
And I'm Bee.
And we are Hoodzpah. And we are here today in the office. It's just us and the granddaddy longleg family that lives with us. They are a generational family. They've been here for ages.
At least 3 years.
We've seen at least 3 sets of families be born, grow up, move on to the main house. It's been a beautiful circle of life to follow. And for some reason, I don't have the heart to kill granddaddy longlegs.
No.
I don't know why I call them granddaddy longlegs.
It is funny that you say that.
Daddy longlegs.
I like it though.
That must be some weird thing that, like I used to say
ancient
with a K. Ancient, apparently. And last stream, I think we said something like, what do people say? Oh, it's schedule. And people were like, do you really say it that way? No, I don't, but it's just kind of fun to do. But yeah, it's been fun. I can't kill the daddy longlegs. They are so friendly. They're my friends. There was 2 in the shower, and I would take showers with them. It was terrifying, but I just didn't have the heart. And they hated it too. It was too wet in there, but they wouldn't leave. So, and I didn't have the heart.
Sliding down like, wait,
yeah, it was.
No, the steam.
It was interesting. But hello to everyone in the chat. We've got Andrew Hawk Rattle, short name, nickname Hawk. The artist formerly known as Andrew Hawk-Rattle. Harvey Fonda, what's up? Clement, hello. Duwani Patel, oh my gosh, hello. Are you new? I feel like I've never seen your name before. Sarah Flood Bowman, I love a hyphenated last name. My last name used to be hyphenated too, Jost Hood, but then it turns out when I moved to California, they were like, yeah, your mom never legally changed to that, so you can't go by that. In Kentucky, they didn't care. You could go by any name you want. No one checks records. But yeah, I love a hyphenated last name. It sounds like such like a debutante, divorcee. Are those even the same thing? I don't know. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to know. It's so fun because the World Wide Web unites us despite space and time, which is really just a flat circle, isn't it?
Yes.
B, what are we working on today? Okay, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, I pay attention. I'm listening.
Yeah, I was listening earlier. I did my homework.
You do it so well.
Oh, so thank you. Today we're working on some custom type. I know we do it every time. We're such one-trick ponies, but we love doing it. It's fun, and we're actually working on a redesign of our book, Freelance and Business and Stuff. I think it's going to be like 4 years this month or next month. I think it's May 8th or something like that we released it into the world, like officially, probably more like 5 or 6 years since we originally like kind of rough wrote it. And so we're redoing some of the illustrations and some of the chapter openers. It should be really fun. And so today I'm going to be opening up one of my old chapter illustrations and then redoing it. And it should be pretty fun. So we'll see how far we get. It's 10:30 now. We're probably going to work for about an hour and a half or until the leaf blowers start going. Because without fail, at noon, the leaf blowers will start to go.
Yes, they will.
So that's kind of our schedule for the day. So yeah, let's jump into the design screen. All right. I'm just going to get rid of this. Oh, for some reason, I can't get out of it.
Cool. We've got friends from Texas and Canada. And
awesome.
Yeah, Oregon, yay! Portland, I used to live there.
So here, Portland is amazing, isn't it? It's just
so beautiful.
It's like fall. It feels like it's fall all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're working on. So our original, I should pull up our original. Let's see if I have it. Let's go Freelance Business and Stuff. Let's go to the first edition. And let me try to find my original, let's see, Fabulous Artwork. Here we go. Chapter openers. So the original one that we had, let us open this, in our book was for chapter 3. It's the money chapter. It's where we talk about how to get the rates you want, how to quote, how to price, how to figure out your hourly, how to figure out your flat rate, when to use which, all that kind of stuff. So for that one, we had been using this like cash rules everything around me illustration, which was like amazing. Okay, so I've gone too far. I hope this isn't making you dizzy. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Isn't
sorry.
That the dollar bill?
Dollar bills, y'all.
Okay.
Cream, Wu-Tang Clan. You guys know. Everyone knows. So this is the chapter 3, making a budget. And here's what it used to look like. It was kind of like, I'll zoom out a little bit. It's really fun. It's really funky. We had a certain style going for this illustration set that was really fun. And I love the phrase still. I still want to do cash rules everything around me. I just want to like update it, make it look a bit better. Maybe be a bit more type-based, although I do love this $3 bill. It's pretty fun. So yeah, that's what we're going to be working on. So here's what I was thinking, and tell me I'm not a genius. not to be totally humble, but tell me I'm not a genius. Okay, I was thinking, casuals everything around me. It'd be cool to do a lettering piece. I was thinking back to my old 10 by cover that I did for Jeff Lynne's ELO album From Out of Nowhere. And I just took all these like fun little different kinds of fonts, different kinds of letter stylings, type stylings, and put them together in this cool cover. So I was thinking, you know how like there's different currency symbols that look like letters?
Yes.
Like the cent sign is a C, and the dollar sign is an S, and the yen sign is a Y. We're going to spell out the cream title in currency symbols.
That's brilliant.
I know. It
You're
really
a
is.
true genius. Amy.
Thank you so much. So I'm pretty excited about it. So that's what we're going to be doing. And here's my sketch. It's kind of rough. And I figure we can also mix in some real letter forms because obviously I couldn't find every single letter form in a currency symbol. So we'll mix in some real things and we'll make it look super cool, super funky. So that's what we're doing. So here's some of my inspiration. I love these old like logo conglomerate pages that people do, like posters, or also like logo books. I have a ton of these books. It's like the Book of Logos and Trademarks for the United States, or the World Book of Logos and Trademarks. You can get them on Etsy and all that kind of stuff. They're awesome. So I love this kind of vibe. I love my From Out of Nowhere vibe. Here's another logo page that's kind of cool inspiration for just like different styles. And then I'm going to do some black letter, which I never do, and I'm not very good at. So that should be fun. Now that I've got my ego out, will just humble me a little bit later by trying to do some of that. So first I've got my page open. We have like a 7x10 format, I think. Ricky Hardy said genius. Thank you, Ricky, I appreciate you. Always got my back, girl. Also,
Jason.
what's up, Natasha?
And Stephen
Adam.
Overturf's in here.
Hey, Stephen. Congrats on the new job, by the way. Stephen's working for LA Galaxy, I think. Dream gig. That's so cool. So I've got my 7x10 artboard in Illustrator, and I've just pulled in some guides. I always use my guides. I just did Command R to get my rulers, and then you just pull them out from the sides like this. And I'm just letting myself know, okay, I need like a 1/2 inch margin all the way around so that when my printer prints this, it's got like a nice border of white space. Because what we like to do is make our posters tearable out of the book so that people can like cut them out with an X-Acto knife or just rip it out willy-nilly and throw it on the wall. And some people do it. If you check out our like Phobos hashtag, in between pictures of beans, because apparently Phobos is a kind of bean, and I did not know that before creating the hashtag, there's pictures of the Phobos book, and there's people that have like ripped out the pages and put it on the wall. It's so cool. So I want to make sure it's able to have a border so it's nice and easy to print. And at the footer in the book, we have page numbers. So I want to make sure that my bottom footer of my page is a little bit bigger. So that's going to be at like, 3/4 of an inch. And then on the right-hand side, in our books, let me grab a book. Okay, I'm so sorry to do this. Okay. So I'm going to just grab a book real quick. So in our book, you can see that let's just open one here. All the illustrations are on the right-hand side. and so I want to make sure that when you open the book, if you're going to tear it out, you need a bit of extra what if room on that right-hand side of the page where it's going to be tucked into the spine. So that's just extra room for spine binding and for if you're going to tear it out. So that's what we're making room for there. So on that side, I've also done 3/4 of an inch. So those are my guides. That's where we are. And let's get rolling with the fun stuff. I'm just going to go to my layers panel like I always do.
Hey, Katie from New York, and Joshua Benedict.
New York.
Yeah.
Gosh, I miss New York. It was like almost 2 years ago that we were at Dribble Hang Time in New York City. My phone reminded me of it, and I was like, oh, we had all these photos of like Danielle Evans and John Contino and all these people. It was so fun, and New York is magical, isn't it? I just love New York in the fall, as Kathleen Kennedy says in You've Got Mail. And Kathleen Kelly. Gosh, I have that movie memorized. You'd think I'd know her name, but I don't.
Oh, Aritza's back. Welcome back.
What's up, Aritza? All right, so I'm just moving all of my images for inspiration down onto a layer, and I'm just going to lock that layer. That way it doesn't have those annoying like selection outlines. I hate that. Okay, so first, let's do a cent sign. We'll start with, let's start with our grid. I need to make a little grid like I did on this From Out of Nowhere. So I'm just going to get my pen tool. I'm going to get on my artwork layer. Artwork. That's old. I'll call this guidelines. And now that that's that, I can start drawing my little lines. Because I like the idea of a grid. I think that's cool. It kind of looks like space age, futuristic. It's kind of neat. And the glory of these book illustrations is that they are all in black and white. And I hate choosing color, and I always regret the colors that I choose. So this is amazing that I don't have to pick any. Okay, so
Spencer Wolf says, make me want to buy school supplies.
Yes, Spencer. Oh my gosh, a fellow You've Got Mail head. You know, like a Motorhead, but a You've Got Mail head. Actually, I'm a Nora Ephron head. I love whatever Nora's done, I'm there for it.
Yep.
When Harry Met Sally, you know, the classics. She's a classic of rom-coms. And not cheesy rom-coms. I really hate cheesy rom-coms. Well, I do watch Lifetime Christmas movies. So,
yes.
Gosh, I think I know myself. I don't know myself at all. No clue. Okay, so there's my grid. So let's see. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down at least. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. That's one too many. I'm just gonna get rid of this. And I'm going to direct select all of those and just bring them in with my white arrow.
Paul Hutchinson says hi. And Aritza has a question. What do you think about graphic contests like ComArts or TDC?
Okay, first of all, shout out to Paul Hutchinson, my good friend. He's up in Highland Park with all the cool kids. And he's definitely a mentor of mine and just an amazing designer. And he is a fellow rom-com aficionado. And I will fight to the day I die on this one. But I think You've Got Mail is the best rom-com. He thinks The Holiday is. I know we've talked about it before, but he's wrong.
And he's right.
He's wrong,
He's
and
right.
I'll never,
You're so
ever.
Right.
And
yes.
no.
Yes.
Team Nora. Who even wrote The Holiday? It's Nancy Meyers, right? Oh, screw Nancy Meyers.
Wow.
Except Nancy, if you ever want to work on a movie title statement, call me. Call me. But okay, so what do I think about design contests? Those are tough. When I first started, I wanted to win one so badly. And so I never applied for one when I was working at my my paid job. But when I started going out on my own and making work that I was really proud of, that's when I really wanted to win something and be like, I'm award winning. I do good stuff. And I felt like I needed some sort of outside validation to tell people that, especially because I was young and I hadn't gone to college. But now I realize I don't really care about that anymore because I don't know. I feel like the things that I admire more are getting on Brand New. It's free to enter, number one. And I love Armin's thoughtfulness of his reviews of brands. So I like that kind of thing. Although it would be cool to win some awards, I think there's definite validation for when clients see that you have them. My friend Peter Passoff, it's either Passoff or Spasoff, but he has his own branding agency, PS Design, here in Orange County as well. And he enters every year, and he makes personal work just to enter so that he can do really cool, really out-of-the-box things. And then he also, does his best client work. And I tell you what, when you go to his office and you see his awards case, you are impressed. There is something about it that is very impressive. So I think there's a validity to trying for those, but the truth is I'm just kind of cheap. I don't want to pay the fee. You know this, B.
I feel that myself.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I am. So I usually just submit to Brand New or try to respond to things like Typewolf. They do a nice newsletter that features cool things. So those are the kinds of things that I do. But I entered Logo Lounge last year, actually, for the first year, and I got a logo in, and it felt amazing. So I think there is a validity to it. And I mean, gosh, every time my friend Chris Porter, who runs Creative Punch in Memphis, he's a branding agency as well. He has so many awards. Another one, just Jordan level awards. And I'm always so impressed when I see it, when he posts about it. So.
Veda says we're making her wait in the Starbucks drive-thru line much more bearable.
Oh, good. Oh my gosh, how fun streaming in the Starbucks drive-thru line. That's so
And
funny.
there's a lot of kickback here. Andrew Hockrattle, Fox.
Yes.
And Leon's in the chat.
Leon Ingram, what's up?
And a lot of people say, okay, so Natasha thinks both movies are amazing. And okay, well, except for Brie, who thinks that You've Got Mail is better, which is okay.
All right, the
Ricky
poll's
thinks
happening.
Holidays so good. Yes.
We need to have like an official poll somewhere. Like I need to make a site, and me and Paul need to state our cases, and then the audience chooses. You know.
Yeah. Ooh, The Princess Bride, Johnny Niddle.
Oh,
Johnny Niddle, hey.
Johnny, what's up? And you might be right. That might be even. Yeah. All right, so I'm starting my customized scent sign. So I'm just, if you're wondering what I'm up to, I'm just like drawing shapes. That's how I make my letter forms. Just making shapes. So first I'm just going to cut out this side of the C using my Pathfinder. And I'll just move that to the top and subtract it from the back. I've got a little C there to start with. Princess Bride is so good though.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Peter Falk. Oh, I love him so much. I want him to be my grandfather.
Yeah. It's definitely a favorite.
All right. So is this doing any? There we go. Okay. So let's go 0.02. I want to do like an inline thing on this one. It might not look good, but it might. So we're going to go path, offset. I use this all the time. Offset path is one of my faves. And then we're going to get one more time. Path, offset path. Okay. Oh, that's too thin. So let's go. Let's try one more time, but let's make it down to 1.5. And let's see if that... It's so hard sometimes. It's not going to be perfect, which is kind of a bummer. Let's try this. Nope. I'm going to have to drop myself. I'm going to have to get the pen tool out. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll start with another circle.
Oh, Clement says the next stream should be a rom-com related design.
Oh my gosh. Redesign the poster art for You've Got Mail. It feels wrong. It feels wrong to do because it's just perfection. It's like, what more do you need than Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan's mugs to want to watch a movie? It's sold. I'm sold. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what we could do here that's kind of cool is potentially...
Bryce Reyes, well, Dave Chappelle is in You've Got Mail.
I know!
So,
Bryce...
Which, yes, I mean...
Isn't that so funny? When I saw it when I was younger, I didn't even realize it was him. Like, did you? Did you put it together until later? That it's Dave Chappelle?
I can't remember that far back.
I don't remember like watching it for the first time. It, yeah, it came out in the 90s, like 1996. Yeah. Wow, I know a lot about it. But it came out really early.
On February the 29th.
Nora Ephron released her pinnacle piece, De Resistance. But I remember like the first few times I watched it, and then I'm like watching it back later in life, and I'm like, what the, after I've seen the Chappelle Show and after he's become like this like powerhouse, I'm just like, was he in this for the paycheck? Does he actually love rom-coms? I'm just so curious how he feels about it now.
Yeah, I agree. Stephen Overture, Princess Bride is one of the best movies ever made. It has so everything. Good. Drama, comedy, romance. It's so true.
That's hilarious. It's like Stefan on SNL. This club has everything. Okay, I'm hating this scent sign. I'm hating it, but I'm going to leave it there for now. I was trying to do like a emanating out thing. Let's keep going. Let's see if one more emanation will help it look better. But right now it's just looking real weird. 5. Let's see if that helps. No, it doesn't. I don't think it helps at all.
Oh, this Heather says, Heather Douglas, it would be fun to have a camera watching your hands work. I need to learn not to use the mouse. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. You know what? I brought my mouse in, my space age mouse. I'm not even using it. I'm so used to using the trackpad. Wow. Okay, I'm going to use my mouse because it really is quicker. I tell you that all the time. Breaking my own rules here.
I know. That's hilarious.
That is really funny. Okay, let's get a Lone Pine $ going. I'm going to open up my character panel, my glyphs panel, and I'm going to find my $. Actually, I can just type it in. It's not like it's a yen sign. So let's just go $. Let's use that for our S.
And Curio House, Tom Hanks is my favorite actor because of The Money Pit. We just watched 2 Tom Hanks movies in a row last Friday.
We did. We had a Tom Hanks marathon. It was like That Thing You Do, and then we watched The Terminal, which so heartwarming and so funny. I don't know how he just picks winners every time. Yeah, no, totally. He can do no wrong. He really can. Oh, and then I was gonna bring in. You know what I do sometimes? So this was a personal piece that I didn't use for anything. It didn't go anywhere. Nobody used it for nothing. So I'm going to take some of these letters that I've already made that are awesome. And yeah, I'm going to reuse them. But yeah, Tom Hanks is the man. That Thing You Do. Amazing.
Amazing. Jason Carney says something about Mary is top tier too.
Oh my gosh. Those kind of movies, I can't tell you the anxiety and stress they give me. Just like you being in on this like mortifying thing that people don't know about, or it's just like my life is already like stressful enough during the day. I can't even do stuff like that. I don't know why.
John Mata, Dave Chappelle is also in Robin Hood Men in Tights, which used to be my favorite movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Robin Hood Men in Tights was so good.
So good.
Dare I say, up there with The Princess Bride. It was so hilarious.
Yeah, I think so. It's just, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's so good. Okay, let's see if I can steal any more letters from here, because I kind of like this method. Okay, I love that lowercase e. That's kind of fun. I need an A, and I'm not sure where to take. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it from, Jen has a new font that she's releasing soon, and it's getting there. Let's see if her A looks good. It's called Berkeley. Oh, it's a little too simple. So I'm going to pull it over here.
But it is cool.
Oh, what about Simon Walker's font? Room 205, maybe? Ooh, that's pretty. Let's go there. We could even, like, customize it a bit. Okay, so let's do that for now. Got here, got this. We still have to make a cent sign, and I need to figure out what kind of cent sign. I think what I'm going to do is get kind of funky with it. So.
Ricky says, would changing the stroke width help the scent? ?
I know. Yeah. What would help that? To be honest, I don't know. I'm just going to give up on it. There's an ant on my computer. Yeah. The ants are taking over.
It's from your candy that you were eating in here.
Is that?
Yeah. I found your candy wrapper in here.
Oh, what candy was I eating? That's
Unless
funny.
it was Jen. Might have been Jen.
Ah, Smarties. Okay, I'm thinking, what if we do something real weird and funky? Like this, maybe? Is this going to be better? And then we'll cap it. Okay, so let's draw a white box to kind of preview where we're at. And then I'm going to use my direct select tools, my direct selection arrow, and I'm just going to go, actually, I'll just select these two. I'm just going to go out to the left a bit and maybe go like this. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'll pull a ruler in here so I can see where that's at.
Adam Wolfie wants to see your space age mouse.
It's wild. But I was getting carpal tunnel, I swear to you. I was like, my wrists were hurting so bad. And I was like, I don't need it to look cool. I just need to be able to use my wrists in 10 years, because that would be sad.
Ricky says, I want a hood font glyph tattoo. Those glyphs are so dreamy.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is. We'll know we've made it when someone gets a tattoo of one of our fonts. That's how you know you're really doing something right. Okay, so let's say this is going somewhere. This is kind of cool. And then maybe it's got let's try and get some angles in here maybe. So I'm just gonna, oops. Is that still live? Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and Pathfinder that, so that I've got a C here, and then I'm going to draw an angle, because I want to have like an angled cent sign. I love those kind of like old school. So I'm just going to draw a line, put a stroke on it, and we're doing this a bit more willy-nilly than we normally do. Normally I'm like, I get real high def with my sketches, so I know exactly where I'm going. This is kind of just playing and seeing what happens. So I'm basically lowering your expectations as to what's going to come out here. This is why you should always have a plan going in, you know? That's can be helpful. So I'm just going to draw another little couple of boxes just to kind of preview where this is at. And then what if, let's draw some more angled boxes. I want to kind of see what this would look like if these ends were angled. So I'm just going to draw a quick box and pull those anchor points out.
And Bryce and Kevin, yes, That Thing You Do was filmed in Orange County
I
and
know.
in Orange at the Watsons.
That's right. It
That piece
was.
is so cute.
It's so cute. They have great patty melts as well.
Yeah.
I judge every diner by how quality their patty melt is. I love a good patty melt.
Yes, you do.
Okay, maybe that goes there. This is the fun part of experimenting is like, is this even working? Oh, maybe we maybe we just shear it. Maybe that's what we do.
Hans says, hi, Jen and B.
Amy,
And
it's
Amy,
me, it's
I'm
Amy.
sure.
I'm Amy, hello.
Hi, Hans.
I know Hans knows. We've subcontracted
Jen is
him.
in here, though.
Oh, what's up, Jen?
She's the Hoodzpah moderator.
Jen, let us know what you think about where this is going. The top looks really long, but there's something kind of interesting. Maybe it also curls out, like, okay, let's go ahead and just Pathfinder that, subtract that out. I'm just selecting this corner and I'm just gonna round it.
Oh, that's cool.
And see if that does anything interesting. And maybe we round the bottom, which may not, okay, there's too many, those anchor points are too close in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm first going to just delete that anchor point using this thing called InkScribe that I have from Astute Graphics. And that should allow me to get a little bit more round. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. Oh, I hate that. Or do I love it?
I like it.
Yeah, I'm unsure.
I like
very unsure. Just gonna pull that out. It's funny, I'm used to using glyphs, so I keep trying to use my shortcuts from there, but this is obviously not that program.
Like the last live stream where you wish you could command.
Yeah, I know. Some of my
F.
commands weren't working.
What is it? How do you erase? What's the commands?
Command Z.
Z. That's it. I'm like, it's not D. It's not.
Okay. I'm kind of hating this, but I feel like I've tried a few things with a sense. Oh, you know what I could do? Just like look for a good font.
Ricky likes the rounded corners too.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Ricky. Having that feedback is helpful. All right, let's just put that in because it could look great once it's kind of like in there. So I'm gonna just outline this path, go path, outline stroke. I'm going to Pathfinder away some of these extra pieces. Oops. And
oh yeah, Bryce. And the Army Navy store is so cool. They have
oh, in
coolest
orange
stuff in there. In orange,
and
yeah.
down in orange. I know.
Said Watson's and the Army Navy store. I love going in that store. The knives and the guns are
Oh,
so cool.
dear.
And the tiny little cast iron skillets, like for
oh, that's
one
the stuff
egg.
I love. Yeah,
So
like the
cool.
camping gear that I'll never use. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, this is somewhere, but it needs some help. But I'm just kind of gonna keep going because I could just sit and like him and haw about this forever. I think if I pull those in, that would help. I think this needs to also go out a bit. I'm just gonna select some of these points. Maybe not that one.
Taylor S. Amy, can we get a patty melt pin, please?
Oh my gosh. I love patty melts. That would be fun. I would wear that. I'd wear that daily. All right, let's just keep that there for now. Let's see how that looks when we can compare it with everything else. It might be too much, too little, too something, but let's just keep working. All right, so that's our cent sign. That's our A sign. We kind of need something bold here. We've got a serif. We got a funky thing. I don't feel like that's going to fit there, so let's do something like really chunky. There's this font called Fat Frank. Let's try that one.
Awesome.
It might be too chunky, but let's just go with that for now, and we can kind of adjust as we go. Okay, so cash, so we've got that. Now we need an H. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the inline thing again because an H could actually work well with this. And what I'll do instead of starting with an outline, I'm just going to start with a stroke because I think that'll help me with my inline doing it a little bit better. So I'm going to go draw my crossbar and maybe make that a little higher, make that go in a bit with my direct selection tool. So I've got all those selected. I'm going to go to Object, Path, Offset Path, and I'm going to go round. And I'm at 0.05 inches. So now I've got those ones and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go Object, Path, Offset Path. One more. Okay. That's kind of cool. It's kind of weird.
Ooh, that's cool, yeah.
So I'm just going to go out a bit more on that. Do we do one more or we just leave it there? I'm just going to leave it for a bit. And I'll group these and kind of center them on the square. Okay, cool. We're getting somewhere. This is looking good. All right, so there's that cache. And then I wonder, I might go ahead and, these are perfect squares right now, but I might give myself a little bit more room. Most of these letters are taller than they are wide. And I'm finding that I'm wanting more room vertically, and I have it. So let's just take it. All right. So
Bryce brought his first water balloon launcher there at the Army Navy store.
Water balloon launcher?
That's so cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's like so fun.
That's really cool. Also, Hans says it was his a little lapse in judgment, the name mix-up. He's been mixing up his son and his dog's names.
Oh no, you're on full dad mode when you can't. You have to go through the list of names in your family to get to the right one.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
I even mix up your name sometimes. That's why I just call you. What is it? I made up a
what
new
do you
name.
call me?
For both of you guys, I just mixed your names.
Jamie.
If I don't know who you are.
It's a popular
Jamie.
one. It's a popular one.
Covers all the bases.
Okay, cool. So there's that. I kind of feel like I want this to be more stylized, and maybe that's by getting thinner in the thins. So let's just get some real width variation going on here. Maybe that'll make us feel like this is more exciting. I think it helps.
Harvey found out, I love how you're able to just let things go and move forward.
That's why I like doing live streams, because that's not my natural tendency. My natural tendency is to just dwell on it. But when you're on a live stream, you can't dwell on it. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty, is you got to keep moving, because people just want to see something done, at the end. And so do I. So that's why I love doing these. If I have something to do quickly on a deadline, I'm like, I should do a live stream. It's the only way that I'll not completely, make this too precious and just never get it done. Okay, so for my $sign, I'm not liking that one either. I'm thinking, oh, you know what we could do? On those old, I was inspired by this thing, this little starburst here. Those old like buy now or like only $7.99 signs that you see on like grocery store. I'm not really explaining it well, but let me just draw it and then maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. Like these kind of like apples, only $1. I don't even know how much apples are because I don't eat apples. I only eat
I'm like, how much?
I only eat sour cream and cheddar Lay's. No, apples don't even weigh into my. This is looking kind of it's like almost a little too wonky, but we can always kind of fix it once we've got like our bones here. So I'm just gonna use if you use Shift C if you've already drawn your handles but it's not quite right, or you don't have the handle on one side of your anchor point, just go Shift C and then you can pull them out again. So I'm going Shift C and I've got my anchors here, and then I can go Option, hold Option key down and pull those out, and it'll be like a perfectly angled anchor point handle situation. All right, so that's kind of a good start. So, and then what I can do is I'm gonna get my pen tool by clicking P, and then I have this selected so I can just click around and add points, and I'm just gonna add some points on these edges, I think, because that'll help me kind of define better this shape. So I'm just adding them here. And actually, if I can just get one side done well, then I can probably just mirror it. So I might just do that to save myself some time. Okay, and then I can kind of get rid of some of these. So I'm just gonna go like this. And yeah, that's better.
Adam Wolfie wants to know, hood fonts aside, what's your favorite font right now?
Oh, wow, that's a really good question. I use this font called Stinger. I think it's called Stinger. And it's by, oh man, what's the foundry called? It starts with a Z. Ooh, you'll have to look that up. But actually, we used it on our Happy Tooth branding. And it's so cool. It's really funky, but really readable. And I love that. It's like practical, but fun. So yeah, check that one out for sure. I think it's like Zeta Fonts did that one. But it's a goodie.
And Ronnie says, was checking out the website, love the Pacific Gold brand, thought I'd check out videos on YouTube, and happened to stumble on this live stream. Awesome. Hoodzpah.
Well, good to see you. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, what are y'all's favorite fonts? I'm always looking for like new foundries and new foundries to follow and indie type designers and stuff. So let's hear them.
And Seween says there are kids on Twitch streaming their college assignments, so you're on the right track. And Bree says, "Oh baby, the scent sign's looking good."
Ooh, thank you, Bree.
And Taylor says, "Wham, comic book bubble."
Yes, the Wham. That's what it's called. Okay, I'm like, what do we call this thing? That's it, the Wham comic book bubble. Just kind of, and I kind of like that it's not perfect because you don't want it to feel. That's why I didn't start with a radial star and then just kind of like round the inner corners, because I think that would have just looked too perfect. So we're kind of just doing it ourselves.
Lydia says, "Bless for that shift C tip."
Yeah, right. That's how you can really fix your handles once you've got something drawn. Because sometimes it's easy to just kind of like put the anchor points down and then tweak. So I love that trick. And then because if you just go Command C and just move one, see how it creates this like, it's like a shoulder or a bump, and you don't want that. You want them to both be coming out at the same angle. So if you want to hold those together, just go Shift C and then Option drag out, and it'll be a perfect, lovely, smooth arc.
Harvey Fonda says, "I used to hand letter those grocery store signs and ads. I'm old for real."
Harvey, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. I was in the car the other day, and the dealership in Orange, it's called like, oh, what's it called? That dealership with the real Selman's Chevy. And they still have like a 50s sign that like lights up. It's incredible. But they pay this lady. She was doing the hand painted like numbers on the cars, and she's just like, every stroke is beautiful and intentional and perfect and just like an amazing sign painter. And I wanted to like run over and be like, can I take lessons from you? But it was, not safe to just run up on her. And there's a lot of amazing sign painters in LA that do classes. Sunny Boy Paint is like one of the guys I follow. I really love his work. Harpoon here in Orange, my buddy Harpoon, John, he is like the biggest man you've ever met. Am I right? Harpoon.
Oh, he's
massive.
huge. Yeah. He's like, so friendly and so tall.
But if I ever got in a bar fight, like I would want Harpoon.
Like he's with us.
Yeah, he's with me.
So
what now? But he's rad, and he does, not only does he do custom like murals and signage and like business signs on like windows and huge walls in schools, he also hand pinstripes beautiful mint classic cars or like rat rods and choppers, and his work is so cool, and I wish I was bold enough to feel like I could take a paintbrush to some of these motorcycles and do it justice. But his work's so cool. Check him out on Instagram. It's I think it's at the Harpoon. But yeah, he's rad. All right, so we have our whammy, and I can kind of finesse some of those things, some of these like more awkward things a little bit later, but I think this is pretty close to a whammy, a good whammy. I'm just gonna send that to the back by Command Shift right bracket. And I'm gonna turn this white so it goes on top. Oh, that's fun. That's getting really fun. And maybe we even like angle it a bit, like that. That's cool. It might be a bit heavy now that we've got all this other stuff going on. So let's see what we can do here. What would still feel, maybe Beal, maybe my own font. Oh, what's this? Let's go Beal.
There's a few responses to what fonts people like.
Ooh, let's hear them.
Natasha says, Blaze Face.
Oh yeah, Oh No Typeco. They make some amazing fonts.
And Bree says Anna Nui's for Chez Nui's has some cool hand-drawn fonts.
Oh, cool. I've never heard of that one, so that's exciting.
Beastly. Riki says Beastly by Oh No Typeco.
More Oh No Type Love. Speaking of, I'm using it right now, Beastly. That may be too much for there, but maybe we'll use it on something else in the future. I'll just pull that down.
And Seween says, my really good friend and I have been enjoying the delights of BN Cringe Sands recently by Brandon Nickerson.
Ooh. Brandon Nickerson. I feel like I have a couple of his fonts.
Danielle Elia says, Hoods, I've been dying to see your streams live. I watch all of them and love your brand and style. Question, where do you host your website, Webflow, Wix? Thank you. Big heart.
Oh, our website. Okay. People think we're crazy because now our shop is so big. And usually when you have a big shop, you want to use Shopify because it's so easy. And it really is so easy. It's a bit more expensive if you don't have that many products. Like it may not be as worth the monthly investment. But if you do have enough products, I mean, it just makes everything so easy with shipping and all that kind of stuff. But we use WordPress. And I was talking to Ricky Haggerty actually, and we were like, it's a love-hate WordPress. Like there's a lot more customization than WordPress or than Squarespace, which is great. So you can get more personality, and you know, if you don't know how to code, you can still like update easily on the back end. And then we just have a dev team that helps us customize it because Jen built out the theme essentially. So yeah, we're on WordPress, and sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. Just gonna go like that. This kind of is reminding me of the Sprite logo, this little whammy thing. Am I right? I'm seeing Sprite here. 90s Sprite ads are popping into my head.
Oh.
Remember the Sprite ad that had the Blackstreet and the Scottie Pippen puppet? Was it Scottie Pippen? I feel like it was the Scottie Pippen puppet. But it was like To No Diggity. No, that's the No Diggity music video. But I'm pretty sure there was also a Sprite puppet. Can somebody Google that in the chat, please? Google that and let us know.
Celine, what are your thoughts on gatekeeping between the terminology on fonts versus typefaces? I've come across multiple arguments.
Oh, like how you're supposed to call, like a font is essentially like the delivery method of a typeface. So it's the actual like, you know, OTF or TTF file. And some people are real particular about how you use those words. And I used them wrong for the longest time, even after I had created my own font. But it can be hard to learn all the terminology. I was talking to my friend Trevor Gerard yesterday. We were reviewing some type work that he's working on. And he just wanted another set of eyes on it, which is so fun to do with your friends. It's like set up Zoom calls, you know, help each other out. Because when you're freelance like us or, you know, working remote, it can be lonely. So we were reviewing some of his type work, and we're like, you know, I don't know all the terminology and neither does he. So we're like making up some words. We made up a word called an armpit, which is the where the stem meets the bowl of an N. And I don't think that's right, but we made it up. But I think at the end of the day, it is nice to know the terminology, just because if you're trying to get feedback from someone who's really experienced in type, you obviously want to make sure that you understand like the feedback they're giving. So I'm constantly trying to learn more about it and remember more. But at the end of the day, as long as you can communicate, you know.
Was it a 7-Up ad?
7-Up.
Perhaps.
Did I say? Oh, maybe. No,
Sprite.
it was Sprite. It was definitely Sprite. I was actually thinking of taking a typography course, even though I feel like I know quite a bit. Like I feel like I'm pretty far along, but I never took any formal training, and so I was like, it might be fun to, you know, try to like learn from the masters. But I looked into it, and that was all I did. Great story, I know. Trying to think about this R. Let's see, what should I do here? Maybe I'll start with, let's start with a font that already exists and then customize it from there, I think. So this is Dogma, which is kind of a cool font. I think it's on Adobe Fonts right now. Oh, maybe we could use Beastly here because that's kind of cool. Although I don't know if that would, because I need to take the left-hand stem off. So let's see what else we could use that might be cool. That's Jen's Berkeley. I want to make sure it reads like an R. So that's Canella, which I love. That might be too curly. Do we do Cooper? That could be fun. Let's try. Let's see if it works. So I'm just going to option drag one down. I'm going to go type, create outlines. And I am going to start, just use, if you click C, it'll bring up the scissors, and then you can cut at your anchor points. So I'm just cutting at some of these key anchor points, and I kind of need that, so I'm going to cut down here. And I'm just going to get rid of some of that extra stuff that I don't need. I'm going to get my pen tool and keep going with this R, and I'm going to make my own little cap for this. Yeah, okay, cool. It's kind of fat, but it's kind of funky. And I might customize this further. I'm going to draw a rectangle instead of making those round edges by hand. Once you draw a rectangle, you can just round the corners now in Illustrator, which is so handy. So I'm just going to kind of finesse that a bit. So I cut off that edge, and I'm making my own edge. Cool. Oop. And let's go ahead and cut this. And we'll join it in. All right, let's see where this is going. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So now I'm just going to option drag out my cap that I made. And I'm going to direct select these left two anchor points and shift those out. I'm going shift arrow to the left. That jumps at 10 pixels. And I'm just going to direct select that end cap and make my ruby, Indian ruby symbol. Cool. Ooh, and then this is kind of looking like an airline logo. I really like this. I think I'm going to redo my... Oh, let's go ahead and join these. Where's my... I'm gonna go direct select those 2 points, go Command J to join. Okay. And so now that's nice. And connected, all one piece. And I will just do the same for this point. Command J to join. Now I can cut off this end, and I'm just gonna redraw it as a hard rectangle. And then round those edges manually. Cool. So I'm gonna select those, and I'll just, that's too much. Go ahead and hit Command Save for once. That's probably a good idea. Okay, and round that like that. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm getting airline vibes from this. This is cool. So I'm gonna direct select these end points and extend them out even further to be more airline-y, because that's kind of neat. And then I'm going to select this.
Okay, I think that people are talking about, okay, a lot of people are saying Penny Hardaway, which is that
Penny Hardaway, yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. I haven't heard that name in ages. Clement, you probably are the one of the guys who came up with that.
Oh, but it's Clement was the
it
first
was Clement?
person.
Yeah.
Yes. And
he's
then
the basketball.
And
okay,
Jen
and Hans.
And
okay.
then Matthew and
all my fellow.
Milos.
That's so funny. Penny Hardaway. What's he doing now? Sometimes I think about people like, I was thinking about Tracy Chapman the other day because her song came on the radio because, yes, I was listening to soft rock. And I was like, I hope Tracy Chapman is somewhere okay, just living large, because that song Fast Car has got to be making her millions, and that's awesome.
Han says, I still remember the Grant Hill Spike commercials too. I could have remembered something important, like maybe pre-cal or science, but here we are.
I think about that all the time. Like, what song came on the other day? It was one of those, this is so embarrassing. Please don't judge me, chat, by this, but I have to be honest with you. This has to be a relationship built on honesty.
And trust.
And the song that I remembered was Good Charlotte, Girls Don't Like Boys, Girls Like Cars and Money, because it came on K-Rock.
In the car.
And I don't even know why I was listening to K-Rock, except that my car still takes CDs, and I didn't have my phone to play music. So I was stranded, and Good Charlotte came on, and I knew every word to that song somehow. And there's got to be a better use for my brain space. But it's so crazy because, like, that era of pop rock alternative is, like, back with a fury. Like, Avril Lavigne came on the radio the other day, and she has new music. You heard it here first. Okay, so there's our Indian ruby. And I actually have, like, all these references up here because look at all these cool currency symbols that look like letters. So this is kind of my reference to make sure that I'm drawing these correctly. So yeah, that's what I'm referencing. So, and then where's that? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, India, this ruby, this R. Oh, theirs has an S. I'm gonna have to double check that before I go to print with this. But for now, we'll just keep this like this. Maybe I'll send it to my friend Kawal and ask him. He's from India, and he has an amazing podcast called Design This Way. And they just released an episode with a really awesome type designer. And I have it in my queue to listen to next because apparently it's just full of gold. So yeah, check him out. Kawal Obali, I think is his name. But we met at Brand New Conference back, gosh, like a year and a half ago. That was such a fun conference in Old Vegas. All right, so I've got the R. So now let's do a U. And actually, I can't stand looking at a white screen. I don't know what it is, but I am like, there needs to be some color. So I'm just going to go to my Hoodzpah brand color library and get an off-white going in the background because that is killing me looking at that.
Ronnie says, is this just a bunch of friends watching? Am I an outsider? It seems like Hans and Clement are fans of the show. And then Natasha says, I'm an tempting friend. I think everyone here is friends.
Everyone's here. Ronnie, you're a friend. Yeah. You just got upgraded to friend status. Everyone here is a friend. I am your virtual coworker, and so is B.
Yes.
Because if you can't have real life, if you can't have real humans as coworkers, have paid actors. No. Have us.
Have virtual ones.
Okay, so I've got that. So, okay. Chat, what are we thinking? What is a style of type that we could do for our U? I'm looking over here right now and I just drew the most basic, boring U. So let me know what you think we could do there. Something fun. I've already got kind of like this inline thing going. It'd be fun to do some sort of like a wobbly letter. I've got that down here for the I, but let me know what could be fun there because I'd love some feedback, some input. Okay, so we've got U. Let's do the lira, or sorry, the pound. And yeah, we'll do the pound next. So the pound could be really fun. Okay, so let's get wild with the pound. Let's do it in cursive even. I'm just using my pencil tool, and I just drew...
Like a magician.
Just like a magician, baby. Okay, and I'm going to get black in here. We'll start there. And then maybe we make this real loopy and crazy. So I'm just going to add some anchor points that are going to make this easier for me to control this at the southernmost. I'm going to delete that anchor point with Inkscribe.
A few comments for the U. Bryce says Western. Veda says Art Deco.
Ooh,
Bryce
Deco.
also says horseshoe.
Oh my gosh, a horseshoe. I love that.
And Samantha says, what about a thick script?
Ooh, a
Lots
thick
of
script. Okay, yeah, we have options. Okay, that's cool. Also, this is kind of fun how some of them break the frame. Do we like that or do we hate that? Let's see how it goes. I'm going to start in the frame and then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's use the width variation tool because sometimes if I want to make like a custom script, I don't want it to be monoline and I don't want to spend all the time of like going in and hand creating the width. I'll just use this cheat of the width tool. And you basically just go in, whatever the thin is will be what you have your stroke set at now. So I have it set at 1. So now I just click and drag out and I can make a thick stem here, spine for my L. I can click and drag in to make this thin again. I can click and drag out to make that thick. And it's like just this really quick way to get some really funky stuff going on.
I didn't know that that's what that tool looked like this whole time.
Yeah. Super cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really handy. And we'll make that go out as well. So already we have this, yeah, and and then you can click and drag them. So like once you kind of have them started kind of where you want them to go, then you can click and drag them around and kind of play with, you know, when they get fat, when they get thin. I mean, mere seconds, people.
It's like watching a magic show.
Chris Angel, watch out. We're coming to Vegas. Who's like the modern Chris Angel? No one cares about him anymore, right? Like, who do we care about now? Who's the magician that we care about these days?
What's his face from Arrested Development?
Job. Job.
That's the one that we care.
That's the one that we care about. Oh, we love Job. Job, Will Arnett is so funny. Just like so subtly funny. But the star of that show in my mind is Lucille Bluth. Which rest in peace, because she just left us. But gosh, she's hilarious and just so awful.
Oh, a lot of people are saying, how'd you do that? The width tool.
The width tool. So here it is. So it's over here in your panel. If you don't have it, just I think you go to this ... at the bottom here. It says edit toolbar, and then you can look for it. It's called the width tool. But this is what it looks like. I'm just gonna get rid of that. And like I said, you just click and pull out, and it'll increase the width wherever you're at. So it's pretty neat little cheat. There we go. And there we go. And if you get too many, the key is making it minimal where you place those, because if you get too many, it can get to looking really weird. So let me find my other one. And maybe I just move that one and I delete this one that I had, because I feel like I've got one too many and we're getting a little bit awkward.
Breadsky, hey, he makes really fun illustrations. He's a cool guy on Instagram, and he's in the chat and he says pro moves.
Pro moves. I appreciate that. Okay. So I am going to, whoa, what's that? Oh, Shape Builder. I learned about that recently. Shape Builder, what a time saver. And I learned about it because I was doing a live stream, and I was using the Pathfinder to do this complex, like, you know, illustration work. And everyone's like, why don't you just use the Shape Builder tool? And I was like, come again? Come again? And what's that? And tell me how. So I learned just as much on these as you all do, I'm sure. I love watching the live streams on Adobe. Like, shout out to Andrew Hockrattle, who's in here now. He hosts all kinds of amazing guests on Adobe, and they share, like, you think you know your own programs for your trade, but every time I watch one of those live streams from somebody else, I learn something new, and it's pretty fun. So I'm going to move I'm going to go to my layers, and I'm going to move my background color to its own layer because I keep accidentally clicking it, and it's making me crazy. So I'm just going to drag that down, lock it, and call it BG for background. All right, cool. Yeah, that looks cool. And we could even get crazier with it, but for now, let's just
Matthew says that L is really making me want some Sara Lee coffee cake.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Dude, here's where the coffee cake's at. It's an Entenmann's. I only want Entenmann's or bust. I don't, Sara Lee, the bagels, it's all, It's like, I want Entenmann's. Yeah. And I want an Entenmann's Danish. Oh.
Yeah, that Danish was so good.
It is so good.
Should have got one at the store.
That's like it's like, oh, I don't even know who first introduced me to those. I want to say it was my friend Danny Nicoletto, who runs, he's the owner of Nicoletto's Pasta in Nashville, but he used to like be a guitar tech on tour for all these cool bands. And one time he invited me on tour with them to be the barista on tour. It was so fun. And it was for like a Christian tour or something. It was like third day. And Toby Mac from DC Talk, who was like one of my first loves when I was young, going to like some mega church in Syracuse, New York, probably. Okay. All right, I'm just going to leave that alone for a bit, and we're going to keep going. I could futz with it all day. But I am just going to thicken up maybe that a bit. Okay, so now we're going to draw our two lines, because
yes, Veda, the Little Debbie Swiss cake rolls are where it's at.
Oh, we are a pro Little Debbie family here.
Yes, we are.
And I got to thank
my mom.
Little
oatmeal cream pies.
B, you had not experienced the glory of Little Debbie's till very recently, am I right?
No.
Tell us about.
I brought it back. I tried it and then came back to it.
You came back
I let it go because of, I was looking like a Little Debbie.
No, you're supposed to say you were looking like a snack.
Because I was looking like a whole meal.
There we go.
It's looking like breakfast, lunch, and dinner in one sweet package.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah. Little Debbie cakes have now so changed my quarantine life for the better.
Oh man,
or worse, I'm not sure, but
yeah, I'm all about.
I like good.
I like the Swiss cake rolls, and I like it. Like leaves a film on your mouth.
And the plastic chocolate.
Yeah, plastic chocolate. It is. What is that?
So good. Even on like Jen loves the zebra cakes, which she's like a white cake fan. I like that chocolate, but yeah, they are all made with like plastic film chocolate somehow. I don't know how they do it, but it's magic. Okay, so there's a symbol called the Iraq dinar, and it's not quite an E, but it has an E like shape to it. So I'm going to look that up, and I'm going to look up a couple of them because I have no idea what it's supposed to look like, and I want to make sure I do it right. So, okay, there's a couple of different things, but let's grab this one. This one looks like it's pretty to the point. So I'm going to pull that off. That's weird. This other one shows it almost backwards. All right. The leaf blowers have come early. I know. What the heck? They're trying to sabotage us at every opportunity.
They are absolutely.
We could start at 8 and they'd just be.
Oh yeah. They are our mortal enemies. No, actually, we love them.
We do. We love them.
No lock. Lock it. Okay. Cool. Oh.
Stephen overturned DC Talk. I guess that's when you were.
DC Talk. Oh my gosh. And if you want to know, I found my DC Talk CD because I like I said, I have a car that's from 2016 and somehow it doesn't have Wi-Fi or it doesn't have MP3 capabilities. I have to listen to CDs. So I found all my CDs and DC Talk was one of them. And I got to tell you, it holds up. It holds up. I take a listen. Tell me if you agree.
Damian Williams. I'm late to the party, but here nonetheless. Rock on, Amy.
Damian, what's up? Damian does some amazing illustrations. And we were talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier recently, which I'm behind on. And I somehow still have, I accidentally got a spoiler. I did get a spoiler. But I'm still super excited to see the last 2 episodes. I love, that show is done so well. It's just like watching like a movie every time.
Oh, Hans agrees. Somehow I can still recite Love is Verb by DC Talk 2. Why?
That's so funny. I only know the ones from the album Jesus Freak. That's kind of, I started and stopped there, I think. But they held up. They do. I mean, they were so hardcore back in the day. Like, rapping and like rock and roll Christian music, like, it was unheard of at the time. And then, of course, Further Seems Forever and all those bands that were like pseudo-Christian, but like kind of like radio-friendly, like pseudo-Christian came along. And they busted that door wide open. All right. So I'm going to fill this in so I can actually see what I'm doing, and so you can too. I just realized I'm working in outlines. All right. So I always get nervous about doing other languages because I want to make sure I do them justice. You know what I might do? Oh, I'm going to do a flat nib. Okay, so I'm going to grab my pen tool, my pencil tool, and under here in this little brush definition palette, I'm going to grab one of these, like, I'm going to grab this 5-point flat. And I'm going to start with this and see, yeah, that's going to be cool. Okay, so I'm going to do it off to the side here. So that's going to give it immediate definition, and it kind of feels more in keeping with the classic, like how this Arabic letter form would look, instead of what I was just trying to do. So let's just start here and then customize from here. So I'm just going to grab my, what's it called? It's like Smooth tool, and I don't have it open for some reason. Let's see if I have it over here somewhere. Oh, I have my Smooth tool. Where is it? I had to reset my panel, and I like moved some stuff where it didn't go. Maybe it's under this pen tool or where? This is a fun stream, me just looking for the Smooth tool.
Oh.
Well, never mind.
We have Avira, I hope I said that right, from India. And, whoops. Lydia wants to know if we watched WandaVision. Yes, we did.
Oh, we did.
It was boring until episode 4, and then
Whoa.
It was awesome.
Hot takes coming in. Wow.
It was. You were so bored.
I was just kind of like, I actually loved it because I just loved all the design title treatments. You were definitely not having it.
Neither was Jen, probably. She'll speak for herself. But I think we all thought it was boring.
Speak for yourself.
Until
Don't bring me into this.
the episode, it was like, is anything happening? And then they just like lit the fire.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is really cool superhero stuff.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for a while I was kind of like, okay. So now we're in the, I don't know, but I love all those characters, and I love Catherine Hahn. She steals every movie she's in. Oh my goodness, she's so great. So what I'm gonna do is go object. I'm gonna path outline this stroke now that I've got kind of like some basic things going on here, and now I can kind of finesse it from here. I think I'll go ahead and just, maybe I should use my shape builder just so we can show you how that works. Use my shape builder there. Get rid of that. That was kind of like a weird, awkward addition. And we'll kind of keep going with this. So maybe what we could do is let's make this a reverse width. I'm just going to direct select those 3 anchor points on the top of this E and just go straight up. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Just going to Pathfinder those together. And I think I'm going to select, I probably don't even need this. I'm just going to go to my ink scribe and get rid of that one.
Oops. Sorry, Riki. She's like, what? I was obsessed from day 1 with WandaVision.
I knew you were going to get, I was like, oh, she's going to get some feedback.
I understand.
I like the vision. I like the vision a lot.
I understand. I was bored until the 4th episode. I mean, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You feel how you feel. You can't change that. Okay, this is kind of cool. I like how this is getting really, I like the like hard edge in here. That's really neat. And I might even,
That's in that's a line from Frozen. You feel how you feel, and those feelings are real.
Oh, Kristoff.
Let down your guard. And then the best song in that whole movie,
Lost in the Woods?
Lost in the
Oh
Woods.
my god, what a complete banger. Just like
So
you
good.
could if you told me REO Speedwagon wrote that, I would say I would believe you.
Yeah.
I would believe you because that song is incredible. So just soft rock gold.
Ugh, I could listen to it 100 times over.
Easily.
Just
and we have.
We have. We really have.
So I'm just kind of like sharpening up some of these angles. I want them to feel real crisp, super duper crisp, and kind of, but still have that, you know, brush feel as well.
Love it.
So I'm just going to select these bottom anchor points and go down on that so that they feel a little bit fatter on the bottom. I'm going to adjust some of my little handles here. I love going in with my direct select tool and just like adjusting handles after the fact to just kind of smooth things out. That's one thing about customizing typefaces. You have to make sure that you relook at all your curves once you kind of Frankenstein things, because they can get lost real easy. Now I'll just go over here to these little things. Sometimes I'll just go in and delete some anchor points that I know I don't need, just so that they're not in my way. Just gonna bring that down, kind of round that out a bit, and bring these. I'll just bring this one side up, and then probably just delete that one. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll refer back to our original, and it looks pretty dang close. I think that's good. So let's just start there. And if anyone sees anything wrong with this, let me know if you are familiar with this symbol, because I'm not super familiar with it. I'll have to do some research after this stream and make sure that I've represented this correctly. Okay.
Natasha, I tried watching Mythic Quest and the 4th episode hit and I couldn't do it anymore. See, I think Mythic Quest
was so funny, but I was kind of like, the first few episodes I was kind of like, which character do I relate to? That's kind of how I always think, or, you know.
Right.
So it's like sometimes I do have a hard time if I'm like, I don't see myself in any of these characters. Okay, so this is my E.
That's true.
But I did end up just absolutely loving it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make this more stylized. So I'm just going to shrink these two pieces and make sure that this E is like the main thing that we're reading. So I'm going to go like that, so that when you read it. The cool thing about a piece like this is the song is so famous, Cash Rules Everything Around Me, that if enough letters are like obvious, it's kind of like Wheel of Fortune. Is Wheel of Fortune the one where you have to guess the phrase? I think so. Where
it could be.
It's like buy a vowel and buy a T and all that. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of like that. If you can get enough of your letters close to that, like people can like make it out. It doesn't have to be so obvious. So maybe for this U, we just get really obvious with U just to help them out so that a few of the letters are like obvious. All right, so that's a nice U. And maybe we go, what's a fun U?
Someone did say Lone Pine earlier for a different one.
That's kind. Okay, let's go. All of these other letters are really swashy, so maybe we'll go with Funky Dory's cool.
Ronnie wants to know who your favorite type designers are.
Oh, wow. Okay. Gosh, there's so many. As the leaf blower just gets so loud. I would have to say, it's kind of neat. I would have to say I really respect Lubalin, which is, of course, like a legend. I have to say that I personally respect it. Of course, everyone loves Lubalin. That was so dumb. But he really is my fave. You want to talk about someone who is just maximalist. And I know it's cool to be minimalist, so I just love that he like did what he did. Of course, it was the 70s, so it's like anything went in the 70s. But I really do love his work. I just think it's so cool. And if you've seen like the old Esquire logo, I believe that was him. And he did some work for Mercedes. He's done like so many famous logos. If you just like Google his name, it's just a gold mine. Okay, so that's that.
Kevin has a question. Any advice for small designers who aren't the best at creating custom typefaces? Licensing a bunch of fonts can get pricey for someone who wants to add type with their illustrations on prints and shirts.
Totally. Fonts can get expensive, but nowadays there are some really reasonable options. Like if you go on Creative Market or Font Squirrel or Font Spring or any of those, there are quite a few that are like under $30, and that's not too bad if you think about, like, especially if you're going to sell the posters or the t-shirts, like that's not bad if you think about your cost benefit analysis of like, if I can make maybe, you know, $2, $3, $4, $1,000 on this, you know, shirt or poster, it's worth buying the $30 font, right? And it's worth saving you the time of trying to create a custom typeface if that's not your strong suit. So some of those sites are great for those. Adobe fonts obviously are free to license through their program. So that's a great place. But I think if you want to like make it more your own, start with a font that exists that's maybe free through those things like Adobe Fonts or Google Fonts, and then just customize it to be more ownable, like add unique serifs, things like that. That's a great way to kind of take something and make it a little bit more exciting and a little bit more ownable. Okay, so we need an S. Did that answer the question?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Noelle wants to know, do you focus a lot on the math of it all when doing pieces like this, or are you more of a, if it looks good type of girl?
You know what? I'm a little of both. I tend to get really hung up on the details. So I try not to, but at the same time, I want to make sure it looks right. And a lot of times just doing it right is the best way, you know, to get things to look right. So I'll usually start with getting really OCD about, you know, like what I did just here. I'm making this S and I want to make sure that this top swash looks the same as the bottom swash. So I'm just option dragging for consistency's sake, and then I'm tweaking. So I think starting there is where I like to start. That's how I find it easier to just get rolling, is kind of having these boundaries and then breaking the boundaries. But starting with guidelines I find is so much simpler, because I feel like even today I didn't draw a high-res sketch and I'm literally kind of panicking inside because you all are watching and breathing down my necks like that hovering art director, and I'm nervous. I don't want to let you down. But if I had drawn something that was a bit more just like of a plan and I gave myself more guidelines, I think I thrive under that. Anyway, what about you, B? You like to go into the plan, or?
I think it's helpful too. If I just go in and I'll just draw what I know, which is nothing, the same 5 things over and over, and then I just get annoyed.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like to have a direction and like aspire to something, think up something, drag it in, go with it.
Yeah.
And then it can get creative from there, but yeah, I definitely need like direction.
Yeah, me too.
Directions.
Yeah, totally. You know what's so funny too is like I want this. Oh, did that work? Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna go object, transform, reflect, and I'm gonna go this way. I did it wrong way the first time. Okay, cool. There we go. So that's my S. I just stole that from my other projects, but okay. I'm hoping this is legible. I'm thinking that cash rolls everything around me. Okay, some of this is like, I might use this as an E down here. Cash rolls everything instead of where it was, because there was a lot of swashy going on here. So I want to make this something really easy to read. So I think what I'll do is maybe pull in an E from like Beal or something. We'll see if that looks good. Maybe not. Maybe, oh, you know what I could do? I made an E that is more basic. If you don't like the backwards 3E, so maybe I'll throw that in there, and then we can maybe have fun with that one. We might even add like some inline stroke or something. Actually, I'll do that now. That would be cool. So I'm going to just get my pen tool. I'm going to set the outline to my off-white that I'm using. And I'm just going to start kind of.
Ashley wants to know, are there any up-and-coming designers that you've been keeping your eyes on?
Oh, always. We obviously have a hashtag for our fonts. That's hashtag Hood Fonts. And I always try to look on there and just like see how people are using it, see if like, you know, there's anything that I want to share on our Instagram story that's really cool to show people how to use the fonts. And I've discovered so many cool designers that way. So yeah, that's the one way that I've seen a lot of cool designers. And I used to do a lot of portfolio reviews, and that was so fun. Just like donating time to the local colleges. If you want to get into, you know, like mentorship, reach out to your local colleges. They need professional designers to help them review portfolios at the end of the semester usually. So reach out to their design departments. It's such a great way to kind of like get active in your community and meet cool young designers. So for some reason, this corner is rounded, and I don't know why. I'm just going to check my caps by going to stroke, because I don't know. I don't want that to be rounded. I don't get why that's being rounded. It's very hard. I guess I'll just go like that. Maybe, no, shouldn't have to do that. Could just be Illustrator previewing weird, because it shouldn't be doing that. Okay, there's the hard edge. Let's try to pull this out again. I don't know why that's doing that. I think it's just a previewing issue. So I'm just going to leave it for now, and then we'll keep going. But yeah.
Noelle wants to know the story behind your logo.
Oh, our logo, the upside down diamond. That's a cool story. So when we were starting Hoodzpah, we were like, we wanted to have an icon, some sort of like really cool logo that represents something symbolically that we stand for. And my immediate thing was to go to pop culture to find something that I thought could be interesting. So I was like looking up songs that I like, bands that I like, obviously like Led Zeppelin and some of those classic things that are more like well known to everybody, that everyone can kind of relate to, because I want something that's like relatable. And so I was looking up all these songs, and I looked up Pink Floyd, and Shine On You Crazy Diamond is just obviously an epic song. An epic song, and it was like our motto for that time, because we had just left the Coupon Clipper magazine we were working at, and we were like, we just wanted to make work that was like really bright, really exciting, really, really stood out, and because we had just been doing corporate work for so long, which, no bashing corporate work, I do a lot of it now, and it's like a nice break from like the super creative work I have to do. But at the time, that's all I had been doing for the last 3 years, So we were like, shine on you crazy diamond. That should be like our tagline, shine on. So we made that our tagline, and then we were thinking, okay, a diamond is too overdone. How do we take it and turn it on its head and make it ours? Literally. You turn it on its head.
You literally
That's what you do. You just turn it on its head.
Jason said that with the little curve thing happening, with the angular joints, if you literally move it like 1/10 of a pixel, it'll fix itself. And then Han said making the stroke corner rounded might fix it.
Yeah, it was weird. The stroke corner was set to the thing it's supposed to be set to, so it's like so weird that it wasn't working. Yeah. But I will try to figure that out later.
And Ronnie wants to know, how do you set up directions for yourself?
Sketching is a great way to start, just like getting a sketch that you're sticking to instead of just jumping right into your design programs. I think that's almost every designer's like go-to is like, okay, let's jump into Illustrator. But if you go into Illustrator with a blank page, that is a sin unto death to start that way, because it's just so easy to kind of aimlessly circle the pool like a pool filter, and you don't want to do that. You want to get somewhere. So I think just going in with at least a sketch and making a brief for yourself. Like Jen and I do this all the time with personal projects. We make a brief of like, here's what we're going for. Here's our audience, our target audience. And I make a deck like I would for a client. And it's honestly so helpful to just keep yourself on track and keep yourself honest with your time and with your decisions. Because it's so easy to be like, does this look cool? Does this like do things for the wrong reasons? As they say on The Bachelor, be here for the wrong reasons. And so to avoid that, making a deck is pretty handy. Okay, so that kind of got off track a bit, but again, this is more for fun, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but it would be great if it was.
Miss Rami says this just popped up in their recommendations, and yes, this live will be saved along with all the other ones on our page.
Nice. And also, if you subscribe, not to be that guy, but like and subscribe, because we do these frequently, and sometimes some months we're busy with client work and we're not able to, but this month we've been on a streak of every week for the last 3 weeks, so I'm pretty proud of us. So we'll be doing more and more of these, so definitely subscribe, and it'll keep you posted on when we have new videos, even if you miss them live. But it's so fun to do them live. It's so fun. Because then we get to talk to our friends.
Yay.
All right, so that's a cool V. I love that. It makes me want to have some more negative space in some of these. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll swap this to like, not that though. Not that one. That's not the one.
Not that.
Not what I just did though. Maybe I'll do this one though. Oops. Just going to go here, and I'm actually going to pull this into my, maybe there? I don't know. But I do want to have a little bit more. So maybe I'll do that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's helping. So I'm going to save. So,
oh yeah, that's cool.
and another way to have guidelines is I pull in all my reference pictures to my board just so that I can reference them quickly. I've got my sketch, I've got my visual references, and it really helps me also stay on track as far as just making guides for yourself. Oh, also, my friend Ish and Stu, who run a creative studio in Costa Mesa, Stuart Dooley and Ismael Villanueva. They actually played our last live stream back at half speed because I said I talk fast, so if you want, you can listen to this at half speed, and it would probably be helpful. And it was so funny. They sent me a video of it, and I sound like just a drunk blonde Kardashian. It was so funny. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna do my M. So I drew this M because I never do black letter, but I love it and it's so beautiful, and I never have the right project for it because it's kind of intense.
It's intense.
So let's use it here. Let's have this be an excuse to try some black letter. So what I'm first going to do, I think, is I'm going to make my diagonal that's going to be kind of like a guide for where my diagonals will be. So I'm just going to make that hot pink, and I can drag that down whenever I need kind of like a guide on where this goes. So I'm just kind of pulling these around my artboard as just reference points to my swashes. Okay, now that I have those, I'm going to go to my layers panel. I'm going to pull those. Oh, they're on my guidelines. Oh, my guidelines is now my artwork. So we'll just put it on the background layer. Just make it work. So I'm going to drag those down to my background layer, lock them so they're not in my way, and let's get that pen tool out. You love it, you hate it, but it does the trick.
Yeah, you'd use it so well.
Thank you.
I will never, even the pencil tool, I'm like, how?
How do we?
It's so smooth.
It's tough, but it's get better at it the more you do it.
True.
Okay, so now we're gonna go like that. And have the swash go out nice and big. And we'll draw that little, I think I'll just, yeah. Okay, so I learned this tip. So I've got this one going, right? And I want to fill in the fill, but I don't want to get off on my monoline parts. So I just did Command C and Command F to paste in front. And now what I can do is just use my direct selection arrow, and I can even add points. Like I think I'm going to add a point right here so that when I drag this anchor point down, it follows along that monoline curve, but I'm able to get these new curves. And then when I make this into a fill with an outline, you'll kind of see like why that's helpful. But I'm just going to go ahead and kind of tweak that a bit. And I'm going to grab this one and pull it down here. Maybe I don't need that one if I have this one. And I think I'll go add one there. That way I can kind of move this one freely. Okay, so now if I draw a rectangle with my white selection arrow around this top swash and just go Command J to join, now this can have a fill. So now I'm going to make my outline black, and I'm going to make a fill, which is black. And you see how that keeps my monoline, but allows me to create a fill? How cool is that?
So cool. Dewani said you could have looked at Respira Black in case you need a clean black letter font.
Ooh, also. Okay. Good to know. That is good to know.
Very cool.
So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to cut that there because I want that to be a fill. And I'm just going to have that meet there. And I'm going to join those. So now we've got this beautiful swash. And I do need to have an end on this one too. So I guess I will cut this here.
Oh, I think, so Riki said, how are you grabbing that? You can explain again how you grabbed it and filled it.
Okay, so I'm using my direct selection white arrow. So I've got two monoline paths that are directly on top of each other. The bottom one is going to create the bottom arc of this fill width area, this like wider spine area. And then when I direct select the anchor point of the top monoline stroke, I'm only moving the width where I want the thickness, and I just direct select it, and it was down here, and I just move it up to create this like fill. And it, because the points are all exactly the same, it keeps my monolines the same. So that's just a way that I've been cheating it, but I'm sure there's also another better way, but so far that's the best way I found. sometimes explaining some of these weird hacks that I do are so hard. I'm like, it's just like so intensive. It's like, is this even a hack? It's like those people that make those like nacho hack, and it's actually way more of a mess and a hassle than just doing it the right way. I hope that's not what this is.
No, Harvey Fonda says, "Oh my gosh, that's such a great tip on that swoosh film."
Oh, neat.
And Natasha says, "Magic." Yeah. Quiet Noise. One of your favorite projects Hoodzpah has ever done? ? I really love the team's work on Luca.
That might be one of my favorites. That was such an honor to get to even like be in the room and like suggesting ideas for that. And we got to work with Michaela Muka and Jess Linares and Carrie Miller over at Disney. And you want to talk about just class acts. They're just so talented and so it was just really cool to get to be in on that like creative process with them. So I cannot wait for that to come out. I saw somebody sent me the poster design. Actually, I think Michaela Muka shared it on her Instagram. And I was just like, oh, I cannot wait to see it.
It looks so cute.
It looks so cute. And I love that it's an Italian town. I'm like, yes, is there an Italian Disney movie yet? I don't think so.
I don't think so. They're usually in England, aren't they?
Right. When you think about a certain era, yeah, they're usually like the English countryside or Nordic, like Frozen and,
right.
You know what I mean? Like all those Tangled, right. I think is Nordic, and, right?
Brave is like in
Ireland or Scotland or something.
Scotland. Yeah. I think Scotland.
So yeah, it should be cool. But that was so cool. Talk about a dream project. So I'm just building out my black letter.
Ronnie wants to know why not use the Shift W with tool on that.
I don't know. That's a good point. Let's try it on the next one. But I find if I want like a really quick jump to a fat, sometimes the width tool can be harder. But I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. I should try it on the next one, honestly. That's a good point. And I wanted those little tails at the end. I don't know. Ronnie, you're making me second guess everything about my shortcut. That is not a shortcut at all.
There's just not one way to do it. There's options.
There it is. If you want to do it the hard way, follow that thing I just showed you. Okay, so now I just option dragged my the side that I just created for this M, and I'm going to just pick up my pen tool and connect those. And it looks like I might have gotten a little bit off on my diagonal, so I'm just going to direct select those 3 points, zoom in, and just have that come down to make sure it follows my path.
Lydia said, "I sent you the poster too. Still think your work was better than what they chose, and there's no arguments."
Okay, whoa.
At least for me. I mean, I can
nice.
say that because I'm an outsider.
Hey, listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and of course I'm partial to my own work. I can't lie
it was
there.
Perfect.
But I saw the poster and I was like, oh wow, I love this. This is so cute.
So cute.
Gosh, Disney's been doing this for how long, and they have so many hits. They know what they're doing, you know. So you have to like think like, okay, they know that this will work on all of their different verticals that they want to sell and all that kind of stuff. So, but it is cool because it's like you never know like what you presented did weigh into the final decision. That's the cool thing about working on a big project like that, where a lot of people are presenting ideas, is like you're just one of many amazing creatives that are presenting these ideas. And so it's like, who's to say that they didn't, you know, take a few of those to heart and just work it in with a different artist to finalize, you know? So I always think that's kind of cool.
Totally.
So I'm just like direct selecting that and pulling those out. And I'm just kind of creating a bigger swash. Oh, and you know what I discovered the other day? Let's see if this actually worked. I think it did. So I've direct selected my left-hand side of my swash that I've got down here. And if you go to, okay, I'm going to go Object, Transform, Scale, because I want it to be a bigger swoop. And I'm going to go 110. And I'm going to go Preview. Yep, it works. Look at this. Okay, 110. I'm going to go 140 because I want it to be a bigger swoop, but I don't want to have to redraw that curve. That's cool. And then I can just kind of tweak it and fix it. So that might be too big for our grid, but let's just see. Actually, I probably still need that anchor point. Just need to pull it in a bit. Okay. So there's that.
Riki says, did we see that Behance on Instagram shared your work recently?
Did I? I don't know. Did I? I don't think so. I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah. Oh, Veda says she just found out she's 50% Scottish and loves Brave.
Oh my gosh,
Brave too.
that's
I think
so cool.
It's so cute.
How fun. I always wanted to do like a 23andMe, but I'm also like I don't know. I'm like paranoid about it a little bit. Like, what if they use it to frame me? You guys, I watch too much
Murder.
Yeah, murder
Shows.
mystery TV, and I think it's done a number on me. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna option drag this over to the left, to the right. Wow, that looks good. I gotta say, that looks really, really good.
Clement says you're the modern day Chris Angel.
Next time you see me in real life, y'all, I want you to call me that, please. That is so funny. Okay, so now I'm just gonna option drag a couple more of these like kind of cool little, I don't know what we'll call them, like little serif caps. Just kind of option drag those over, and
so cool.
Yeah, maybe not on that middle one, but definitely on the outer two. It looks good, I think. What if I just carry this one all the way down? Like, okay, so let's go back. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, does that just...
Personally, I liked it on the middle one.
You did? Okay.
That could just be me. But I like
Maybe I just bring those in a bit. Okay, so let's just say that that's kind of where that's going. And then I want to do all this crazy flourishy stuff. That's why I brought in these examples over here, because look at this amazing just filigree and like tipping and all this cool stuff. Look at this one. This is incredible.
Wow.
This isn't even the right way up, but I just wanted to look at the swashes more than the letter characters. And then this one is, of course, just beautiful. So I was kind of thinking this could be cool to do. So let me just option drag an option over here and start making some swashes. And I might just kind of, nope, not that. Start by just kind of drawing some willy-nilly, because I'm just going to kind of repeat them. That's kind of what they do on those other ones. It's just like a repetitive kind of filigree, and we'll see like how big we can get while still being legible. So then maybe like we start here and we go like that or something. Or maybe this one moves up here, actually. I'm just going to turn that one here.
Sky says, the trick with the swashes closely mimics what is actually happening with actual calligraphy nibs.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I was going for, so thank you. Oh, and I forgot my little, I think I had a line going down here too, which I love when they have that little.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
That's cool.
And then, ooh, let's do another one. Let's do another one here, right? I don't know.
Why not?
Let's kind of... It's like that kombucha girl. I love that. I could watch that TikTok every day for the rest of my life. It's so funny. Okay, I like it. Yeah. Wow. I don't know about this for right now, but I'm going to save it for later, and I'm just going to group all this. And okay, so everything around me, so it's going to be this M here. And maybe it just breaks the box a bit because it's just too extra not to.
It's so extra.
Wow, I love it. It's so pretty.
So fabulous.
It's so fabulous. Okay, so let's just put that there. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's 12 o'clock. I think we'll probably take a break for the day because we've gotten like pretty far. This looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
oh,
to add.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's okay. We'll do it next time. Before we go, actually, I'll keep working because before we go, we want to give away a tea. We haven't done a giveaway, and we always say we're going to, and then we get off the stream and we've completely forgot about it. So let's do a giveaway. It's of our Pixel Priest tees that we made that are like fun little like pop culture nods to the Judas Priest logo, just done as Pixel Priest because that's what we are as designers, isn't it? So let's ask a question in the chat, and I guess first person to answer it wins. Okay, B, it's up to you to choose.
Your fingers ready.
Yeah, but you have to think of a question on the spot.
Okay.
I'll keep working for 10 minutes while you think of the question.
I will try not to be offended at that.
No, I'm giving you time. It's hard.
Okay.
It's hard.
It has to be like a question that everyone
It could be pop culture.
Right?
Like maybe it could be about Arrested Development, about a recent episode. Oh wait, no, they're gonna start Googling. It can't be Arrested Development.
Okay, hold on.
But some show, right? Okay, while I look for an A font. Uh-oh, no. We're gonna give B a literal nervous breakdown on the air.
Okay.
Ooh, that's beautiful. Wow, that's really stunning.
I have 10 more minutes, right?
Yeah. Oh, you have tons of time. I think I might do. Oh, what's that font called? I just used recently. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to because this is a trial, so I don't want to use it out of turn. Let's see if I can find. There's GT Grilly Type who man, aren't they good at what they do. Ooh. Oh. You know what I could use this for, though? Down here. Everything around me. Maybe this goes for me. Okay, because I want like a really simple E here, I think. Maybe like, and I want it to be one of those Bodani-esque, but not quite Bodani because it's weirdly not thin enough. GT Alpina Fine, isn't there? Don't I have a thinner one? Maybe I do just buy it just so I can use this because this looks good. Tell Mark Bowden, if you're in the chat, help us think of a question.
I know, yeah, I need my wingman. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, Jen, are you listening?
Jen,
help us.
Jen, send help. My mind is just like one blank stream of everything in this room, and I see nothing else. Like, what color? Okay.
This one in the fat.
It's okay, guys. Don't be nervous. If I come up with one, it probably won't be that hard. Okay.
Okay, I can think of one too.
Maybe it could be. Have to think of one.
Maybe it could be like Simpsons related. I've seen so many Simpsons. Okay. Oh, I have one. Okay.
Thank goodness.
What's the name? Which actor plays, or the voice? Which is the voice actor for Sideshow Bob? First one to get it right in the chat wins a tea.
Go, 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 go. I got this.
And then feel free to list them off if people start answering.
I'm gonna as soon as they come.
As soon as someone Googles it.
They Google that and they get it in there.
Actually, what I might do for my Y, and do I have one? No, I don't. Oh, but you know what I will do? I really like this. This is an R that I took from this custom masthead I did for Iron and Air magazine, which is an amazing motorcycle magazine. Do we have it? Do we have somebody on? We've got it. Kelsey Grammer, Natasha Priya. Natasha, you won. Kelsey Grammer. His voice. He's also known as Frasier. Kelsey Grammer.
There it is. You win. Yay.
Sideshow Bob. But this font was so fun to make, or this piece of type was so fun to make for Iron and Air. They are awesome. So I think I'm going to go ahead and, maybe I'll just object transform reflect. So Natasha, if you wouldn't mind sending us
your deeds.
Your address. You can send it to info@hoodzpahdesign.com. Or you're in the Slack, just hit me up on Slack. Natasha is in our freelance and business and stuff course, and we get to chat every day. It's lovely. Okay, so this is I'm just going to finish this Y up, and then we'll part ways for the day, and we'll finish this up next week on the stream. So I'm thinking maybe this Y could be, maybe I go something like, I wonder if this would be weird. Yes, it would. I think I'm going to answer that for you. Yes, it would.
Yay! Natasha said she never wins anything. Me either. I enter so many contests, and one day.
Yeah, I know you do, because you always tag me. I'm like, quit tagging me on this stuff.
Amy, Jen, tag 3 of your friends.
You know it's a real friend when you can tag them on a giveaway once a day and they don't get mad at you.
Actually, the friends who I never talk to for like years are the ones who always tag me. I'm like, well, how are you?
Yeah. Hey, good.
Sure, I'll help you win a contest.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But I only do the people who I know so well.
So well.
I'm pretty sure I've done it to Mark too.
It's hilarious. Well, I feel honored then. That really is as much of it's like, what is this?
Yeah, why? Luckily, I don't do it that often. But yay for winning something. That's so fun.
And I'm just going to, those aren't joined, so what do I think I'll just try to Pathfinder these together at first, just to get these together, and then I'll kind of tweak my go-to. So let's go like that. And I'll move that up and give us a bit of a fatter bottom. Okay, that's looking good, I think. And maybe, you know what I'll do is I want to make sure that the width is the same down there. So I'm just going to turn this red, move it behind, and that can be my guide for where to put some of these anchor points to make sure it's fat enough. So I think what I'll do is, to make it feel in keeping, I'm just going to round that edge and make it more wide, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, go like that, and like that. Pull the finger point out. Okay, it's pretty close. Move that to the side. And then I wish I could flip this in a way. I wonder if I can. Let's try it. Let's just go direct flip like that. And then let's try to shear it. I think this is going to be a horrible idea, but I just kind of want to get it done quickly. Yeah, it's kind of a horrible idea. So here's what we'll do. We will just draw a new one. So we'll go, and I think I'll start by just using this as my guides. Go like this, and I can make sure that that end matches a little bit later. And then go this right here. Sorry, this one is taking a lot of my brain power, and I'm like not even able to be to pay attention to you all.
It's okay.
It's like when you're watching TV with someone and they're on their phone, you know? It's like
No, I don't.
It's not even like that at all, actually. But
it's never like that.
I don't know why. I'm like super sensitive about that. We're watching a show that literally we've seen a million times, and I'm like, Jen and B, you're not paying attention. I need your full attention.
You can't ask if you weren't watching.
Nope. Oh yeah, that's my rule. Don't ask me what's going on.
Pay attention.
If you're not gonna. Like such a weirdo about it.
So
what's your weird pet peeve? Everyone has a weird pet peeve. What's yours? B and the chat. B, you go first.
Oh, I do have one. I actually was thinking about it the other day.
My other one is, oh my gosh, eating noises.
Yeah, you are big on. Every time I eat around you, I'm like, I'm sorry. Should we turn on the TV or should we play a song? I feel really uncomfortable.
Oh no, I'm horrible. But I don't know what it is about eating noises that I'm just like, it makes me, I'm like, and you actually, same, you don't like the sound of teeth on forks.
Oh,
because
yeah,
I
if you
do
bite
that.
A fork, it like sends a shrill through
You'll be
my
like,
whole brain and body.
Why are you doing that?
It's like, I like my teeth all chatter.
Yeah, it's really funny. So everyone has one. So what's yours, chat? What's your weird pet peeve? What's the thing that you're always like, why?
Natasha, yeah, eating.
Yeah, eating sounds, I don't know. It's just really grates on me.
Jason, people who stop at the top of escalators.
Oh, they just want to get a view of what's over the edge. They do that too, like in San Clemente, right where San Clemente High is on the 405, or no, the 5. I don't even remember. When you come over that hill with San Clemente, everyone slows, like the earth stops at the other side of the hill. Right. It's so funny. I'm like, it's still there.
I think it's the 5.
Yeah. Gosh, I can't even remember. It's been so long since we lived there.
And slow walkers, Jason says, I'm with you there. Slow walkers, oof. Especially on a small road, like, or
I can do
like in a way where you can't. You're like, please move,
please get out of my way.
Stay to one side.
All right, let's just say that's our why. Let's say that's our why. All right, so we got pretty far. We got like halfway done. So I'm just gonna zoom out and show you all where we're at before we call it a day.
Ooh, Reiki, when people aren't listening to you and they ask you to repeat what you just said, yeah, F that.
Cool.
I'd be like, no, sorry.
You missed it the first time. You can't have it again.
It's one thing if it's a TV. If someone's talking to you and you're not paying attention,
that's the worst.
Talk about disrespect.
Disrespectful. So here's where we are, y'all. We made good progress. This is fun. I'm excited for this. I can't wait for it to come out in the book. So I think we'll pick this stream up again a little bit later in the week, or no, it's already the late week. It's already Thursday. The week is over. Oh gosh,
we just got
I thought
here.
We'd never make it. I have some other logo projects to work on, but I really appreciate you all taking the time to hang out with us. This was so fun. We love being your digital virtual coworkers. So join us again next week. If you haven't yet, subscribe, like this video, do all the things that help us get people to see it, and yeah, we're wishing you strong Wi-Fi and a full Netflix queue. See you next time.